just a year or two ago, it seemed like everybody was talking about the death of journalism with the rise of digital media. And now it seems like that conversation isn't really taking place anymore. People are talking about the radical transformation in journalism. People are maybe even talking about the resurgence of journalism. But you're somebody who I think is just as comfortable in the digital media world as you are in the traditional media world. So when you look around at these media, quote unquote, disruptors, like BuzzFeed and Vox and Vice Media, what's your assessment of them? Is the impact positive, negative?
Very positive. I love them. I think that new media disruptors ripping the throat out of old journalism is healthy and strong and important. I think we didn't realize it, but you have a lot of intellectual cartels built into media. You know, I admire a lot of editors and I admire a lot of the institutions that are out there provided, but there are different ways to do things. And you know, when I started out as a blogger with the Washington Note, but I was helping to run a big think tank. We were one of the most published think tanks in the New York Times. And you say, wow, what were we complaining about? You're still dealing with a wall of editors who were deciding what would go and what wouldn't. And the whole notion irritated me. It also promotes much more innovative, avant-garde thinking. You know, I love what Ezra Klein is doing with data and graphics and serious stuff. I think that, you know, Vice's ability to have a squad of international players who are doing some of the highest quality, most penetrative, investigative journalism that just shames all the other institutional journalists out there is really important. You know, they're going to run into their own problems because they will become so large. If you look at BuzzFeed, it's just phenomenal what they've done. And you know, they've been able to defy, you know, becoming corporatist so far. But at some level, you become so big that institutions that become too large end up taking fewer and fewer risks. They become more conservative to kind of keep their place. And so, you know, the sort of seeds of destruction are always built in success and growth. And I think it's going to be important for them to figure out from a cultural perspective how they can continue to remain vital and dynamic and reinventing themselves by ripping up what they're doing. I think the same thing is true in a place like the Atlantic, where we would have been dead 7 years ago, 8 years ago. I mean, 7, 8 years ago, we had about 300,000 unique visitors a month coming to our website. Now it's about 30 million a month, somewhere of that order. That's why we're alive today, is because we had a team of people that took not only the magazine, which ranks very high in the nation for reaching a certain level of elites, but you got to reach non-elites, and you got to, you know, reach a much broader footprint where they live, and you've got to be comfortable in the new platforms that are out there. And unless you can figure out that equation and really deploy yourself to it, you're not going to survive in this environment because it's changing so rapidly. And I in my own publication, I'm thrilled that this publication, you know, that was launched in 1857 has the feel of a new startup still. But it took a lot of doing to get there.